Hey everybody, and welcome to Larry's Lounge and Joe.
Larry's Lounge with Joe.
With Joe.
Featuring Joe.
Featuring Joe.
At Larry's Lounge.
At Larry's Lounge.
What's happening, everybody?
We're doing another episode of Keeping It Real. Today's topic is... You want to say it?
No, you say it.
Oh, it's going to be on relationships.
What kind of relationships, Larry?
Any relationship that you want to talk about, Joe.
Is it romantic relationships or friendships are included in this relationship?
I think we can.
Family relationships?
I think we can hit all of them.
Parent relationships, child relationships.
I think we can hit whatever you want to hit.
Siblings.
That's a hard one, siblings, right?
It is.
You have siblings. I have siblings. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, that's a tough one, right?
It is tough because you can pick your friends, you can't pick your family. They always say that.
Oh yeah.
And your siblings, you live with them, you grow up with them, and a lot of times you have a lot of similarities as them because you grew up in the same household.
Right.
And they tend to clashes sometimes.
Yeah, and who's to say, because we could sit there and argue, well, I don't treat them very good, well, they don't treat me very good. You know what I mean? Like back and forth and everything. But, the truth of the matter is that, your family is your family, and you should really be treating them with respect just like with anybody else.
Right, and again, it goes down, I think, to the final ending line is the golden rule. Treat each other how you want to be treated, whether it's your family or anybody else, in any kind of relationship.
Yeah.
Your wife, your sibling, anybody. Speaking of marriage, this is a pretty big week.
Woohoo!
Right?
27 years come this Friday.
I better say, and we're filming YouTube. Can you believe we're doing this on his anniversary?
Yeah, no, not
She's
today.
going to be mad.
No, I mean, this will probably come out after my anniversary. So,
yeah.
But anyway... 27 years being with the same person. We actually dated for 4 years before that, so it's really been 31 years.
That's crazy. That's 1 year, 2 years longer than I've been alive.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, way to make me feel young. But, how long have you been married, Joe?
7 years.
And how long did you date before you got married?
We dated for 3 years before we got married, and I chased her for 2 years when she wanted nothing to do with me for 2 whole years. So I feel your relationship's been together for like 15 years, but no.
So we could start with that. We could start with saying, how did you know? Like, that's what a lot of people will ask. Is like, how did you know that that was the one that you wanted to marry, that you wanted to spend the rest of your life with?
I couldn't imagine my life without her.
Okay.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
There's a point in my life where I couldn't imagine myself being with anybody, and then it got to the point where I couldn't imagine myself being without her. And that's how I knew.
Yeah,
it was so long ago. How do you remember how you knew?
I could say, though, I do remember, and I tell people, because people have asked me, how did you know that was, the one that you wanted to marry? I just think you know. It's like there's not a formula or anything. I think you just know. It's like, that's the one. Like I have told you guys before, and we'll get mixed commenters saying about, because some people are religious, some people are not religious. Some people believe in God, some people don't. And that's fine. It's up to the individual what they want to believe. But the fact is that I always have. And back then, I used to pray all the time for God to bring me some special person into my life. And
special lady.
And He did. And,
lucky for Tom, He did.
Yeah. Am I going to say that it was like 27 years of, woo, everything was beautiful? No, that's not how it works, guys. It doesn't work like that at all. You'll have your arguments, you'll have your fights and everything. But the fact of the matter is, you deal with that and then you move on. But you always... respect that person. And I think that's
you do. There's a lot of respect, and that goes with anybody. Like, you're gonna fight with your friends, you're gonna fight with your family. But guys, if you're younger, the friends you have now are not gonna be the friends that you have when you're older.
That's for sure.
I mean, you'll be lucky. I have my best man at my wedding has been my friend since I was 3 years old. I grew up across the street from him. You'll have one or two of those. You've been friends with Larry for a long time. You know what I mean? Like, you had those friends that you stick around. I guess we're in that category now too, because it's been such a long time for us.
Yeah,
just crazy.
But no, seriously, it is like that. And the thing is, like, with a spouse, like, do you believe that you can fall out of love?
I don't.
Like a lot of people will say, I fell out of love with that person.
No, I just don't think maybe you were ever in love with her to begin with.
Yeah.
You just maybe thought it was love, and then you realized it wasn't.
You're right.
When life got in the way. I mean. I feel that the struggles that my wife and I have make us stronger as a couple. Right. I think it makes us stronger as a team, as parents, as individuals.
And I agree with you.
But I think other than just romantic relationship, right? Because that's not. I mean, maybe half our audience are in
probably more. They would have boyfriend girlfriend stuff.
Right, and even that though, guys. When we say it comes down to respect those. Make sure you're getting respect too. Do not take any crap from anybody. You know, there's going to be arguments. People are going to get mad and say dumb things. I've said dumb things to my wife and my girlfriend, not at the same time.
Right.
Because she's my girlfriend before my wife.
Yeah, I've said plenty of
right. But I'll say it. I'll be like, "Daggone it," you know. I instantly regret my decision to open my mouth. But you know, the majority of the time, you have to have that respect. But like you said, you have to get that respect too. Don't let anybody, you know, abuse you physically, mentally.
Right.
Make you feel scared. You know, if you're afraid to leave a relationship, then you shouldn't be in it.
Right. Right.
From fear, that's not a motivating factor to stay in a relationship.
Yeah.
And you know, with friends, you know, my big advice, especially if you're younger, choose your friends wisely. My grandfather always said, "You hang with lice, you get lousy." I don't know why that saying is a saying, but it means you hang out with bad people, bad things are going to happen.
Right. Right.
You are kind of the group that you associate yourself with when you're younger, and you know,
saying that is like I've told people before is like if you really want to know what somebody is really like, take a look at their friends that they hang around with 90% of the time. That's most likely how that. In other words, like any girl or guy that is getting involved with somebody else, take a good look at their friends that they're hanging out with. I'm not saying they're exactly like them. What I'm saying is that birds of a feather flock together. So they're usually there's usually some kind of, you know, connection of why they're friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think that we're kind of alike in a lot of aspects.
Alike but different.
Exactly. Alike but different.
Right.
But no, I really believe that, and I really think that that's what I think that people have to concentrate. If you're a young person and you're looking at a relationship and everything, I think the key thing that you said is about the respect. I think that's the thing. Like I've always been brought up, and I really believe this. Maybe because I had sisters and they made me believe it, but I believe that woman is the most beautiful creature that was put on the planet. I really do, and that's just coming from my perspective. But it's like I think they should be treated as such. They should be treated that like the special person that they are. If they're the special person in your life, I think that's how they should be treated. Now, do I always treat my wife like that? No. I mean, that's just because I'm human. Right.
Everybody makes mistakes. But, you know, like I said, you're going to have your relationships throughout your entire life. And, you know, to go back on the friendship thing, you know, I've had some friendships that at the time were very close friendships to me at certain points in my life. And, you know, thank God for Facebook and things like that. You can kind of keep in touch now. But, you know, if I didn't, it's not that I don't like those people anymore. It's that our lives change.
Right.
Your life changes and you go different directions. You know, when I got married and I had kids before a lot of my friends, I don't hang out and do as much as I used to do. So you lose, you know, you don't lose them, but they just go away. And, you know, be happy for the time that you had them. And while you're in those days, like, I don't know if anybody watches The Office, but Andy Bernard said something that I believe was the final episode. And he goes, you know, I spent all my time here thinking about all the good old days when I was at Cornell and I was singing a cappella and all this stuff. And he's like, now, for the last year, I've been thinking about all the good days here. How come you don't realize it's the good days while you're in the good days? You don't realize it until they passed.
Right.
So those relationships, one, they make you who you are as a person. The relationships you build throughout your life make you who you are as a person. I mean, they help, I'm sorry, they don't make you. They help guide you into who you become.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like each person, you know, I believe is put in your life at a certain point in your life for a reason.
Oh yeah, yeah. And some friends, you'll find that it's not that you outgrow them, but it's like you change. Like you might change and not do the same things. Because I know friends that were into certain things that I was at the time, but then when I changed, I had to stop hanging around them because I was different now. I wasn't.
Right, and even if you move,
it's not that I became unfriends with them. I still am friends with them, but it's not as a tight.
You don't hang out.
Right, exactly.
It's like when you move. You know, you move as a kid. You have your friends. Like I had friends, and I only moved a few miles, but I had friends on Oakland Terrace, the road I grew up on. And then I remember Melissa Miller's my next door neighbor. She moved to New York. Right. And you know, you don't have a choice. Right. You see them when they come down to visit once a year, and that's about it. You know, I don't know. I think that you just need to embrace the situation that you're in. Yeah. And just remember, if you're a young guy and a young girl, and you're, you know, and you're even worried about like, oh, I haven't met anybody, you know, blah, don't worry about that. You will have plenty of time. I was 28 before I started dating my wife. I was, well, I think I was 21 or 22. It was the 80s. I think things happened a lot earlier back then. And then, but we didn't get married until I was 26. Right. So, but Natalie, she's my. I mean, I had like 2 girlfriends before that, but not until I was in my 20s that I had even my first girlfriend. I wasn't a ladies' man. Right. In high school. No, neither was I. Or in college. I was very shy from girls, as a matter of fact. Or after college. Like it's like. Or now. really.
Yeah, I was a very shy person around girls.
I
always.
was everybody's best friend. I could be friendly with anybody, but I'm very self-conscious about, you know, being overweight and stuff. So it goes back again to the self-image, and that's another reason why we kind of talk about that, because you kind of have a poor self-image of yourself.
Yes.
You know, you can feel like that you don't deserve to be in a relationship, and you give somebody else the upper hand. You know, make sure you have respect for yourself, for others. Love yourself. Be open to love from others, and I think you'll be happy.
Oh, yeah, and that's key. If you don't respect yourself, how are you going to respect others?
Exactly right. I think
it doesn't work like that. You know,
a really good point to cut it off.
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, guys, I hope
respect for everyone.
I hope we touched on some things that maybe you guys can relate to. If not, you know, sorry.
There's always next week.
Yeah, there's always next week. We'll hit something, but always hit us up in the comment section.
Yeah, if you want to talk about
the comment section, excuse me, Twitter, to let us know what topics you want us to talk about, because we're open to talk about just about anything.
Yeah.
Keep you know, throwing stuff at us and everything. And don't forget, I wanted to say, I keep forgetting to say this on all the videos, hit that bell.
Notification.
That notification, that notification, because it's like, you know, there's been a lot of problems with YouTube and everything, and we really need you guys to, you know.
Yeah, we need our support more now than ever, guys. We need our fans more now than ever. You know, we put it out there for you. I hope you guys are enjoying what we're doing. Keep an eye out for future changes. We are still adding stuff to the channel, stuff to be excited about. Yeah, some new people coming in. Something good coming up tonight, baby. Yeah. It's gonna be a good time. We love you all very much.
Yes. Till next time, we'll meet you at the lounge.
I don't know.